Good morning! Welcome to Tim's Quartz and Rocks. Today we're going to be looking at some vanadinite and some barite. We got a really cool sample recently, and I'm really excited to show everybody the cool orange crystals we have to look at. Right now we are at a very close-up zoom. I'll show you the full rock in a moment, but here's what we're going to be looking at, a little taste of the kind of things that we're expecting to see. Let's see if we can shine the light on that a little better. Oh yeah, like a sunbeam. That's a good hexagon right there. Now what that is vanadinite. Vanadinite is very cool, and it's one of my new favorite minerals. Let's take one more little gander. Look at those crystals. Wow. Hexagons on hexagons. Now, if you'll allow me a moment, I'll zoom out here and we'll take a look at the full rock and show you kind of what we're working with here. We'll take but a moment. Now, sorry. While we're doing that, let's take a look at some of the properties of vanadinite. From the ever-reputable Wikipedia, vanadinite is a mineral belonging to the apatite group of phosphates. What does that mean? Let's see here. It is one of the main industrial ores of the metal vanadium and a minor source of lead. So that's the Pb. So the chemical formula is Pb5VO43Cl. That is a mouthful. I'm probably not saying it correctly. But the Pb is lead. And then we got oxygen, of course. Chloride? Very interesting stuff. Well, let's see what kind of colors it can come in. We've got reddish, orange, brown. But today, we finally made it. And we have these brilliant orange crystals. And now the mineral that we're seeing it on top of is, I believe, barite. Let's take a look and double check. It's always good to double check. Assuming you know is never wise. And yes, this does appear to be barite. And we see and are identifying that because of the flaky white characteristic. And now, let me show you exactly how big of a mineral we're looking at. These are inches. That's an inch. There, coming up to about 2, maybe 2 1/4, 2 1/3 inches long. And about 1 inch wide at the widest point. Or for centimeters, it's about 5.5 centimeters long. Now, as much as I love learning about the scientific and unique properties of the different minerals, I am also looking for intriguing and suspicious different things on the mineral, because there are things that are very easy to miss, even when you are looking through a microscope and not just with the naked eye. Excuse me. So you can see all the crystals hiding out. And so what I will do is we kind of identify where all these intriguing points might be while looking in the zoomed out magnification. And then when we zoom in further, it'll make our job that much easier. Excuse me. This part right here at the edge is interesting to me. It's got the distinct orange color of the vanadinite, but not the shape. Perhaps it's just because it's the edge where it collects the mineral. I'm not sure. We must investigate further. And I think that's part of what makes these minerals so great, is that it really piques my investigative instinct, I suppose. What could be lying just beneath the surface? And on that note, we're going to zoom in a little further. And if you'll allow me just a moment, we will resume our investigation. for the delay. Of course, there will be a few hiccups. I do apologize for them, as it is the first stream. But I'm happy to be doing it. Excited to share with you part of what I'm doing throughout these processes. Ooh, look at those. That's wonderful. Screenshot of that one. I like that one. And this is towards the edge where I was talking about earlier that I was quite interested in seeing the color, and here we see the color, but not the distinct hexagon shape, except for, well, they're at the edge. You start to see the hexagon edges, I suppose. Well, that almost just looks, well. Something that I've learned throughout looking at these minerals is that sometimes when they look dirty, it's just genuinely how they look. It's part of how they come. It's not dirt, it's attached, it's part of it. I don't know if that's the case here, but some of it looks to be, at least. Look at that. It's like a fine... Looks like a pretty fine plate. Looks like the Vanadinite is giving the barite some color. In some way, the Vanadinite is... its color is coming through rather than the white of the rest of the barite. That's very interesting. That's what it appears to be to me, at the very least. Please correct me if I misspeak, but I believe that's what we're seeing. Just the tiniest little white cube-looking minerals. Now, I don't know that that would just be more barite or some other white mineral. Could be pieces, I suppose. Moving on to the far edge here. Oh, that one looks... Ooh. Look at that fellow there. Let's see if we can shine the light on him. Can we? What if we move him this way? Ah, yes. Much better. Little blue dot of something or other. I'd say it could be a piece of the felt. I'm not so sure. Bear with me a moment. Well, it resisted the air blast, which usually implies to me that it is attached. So I wonder what that could be. Very interesting. I like the little white bubbles on the side of the orange hexagon. Incredible. What have we here? Some of them almost appear to be squares, but that might just be like the face of the hexagon I'm seeing, right? Right. Another look at the barite on that side of things. Whoa. This is almost like there's a large number of small vanadinite crystals lodged in a clump of something or other. Presumably more barite, I guess. Oh, and it's the whole way. It's this conglomerate of little vanadinite crystals. Ooh, and there's something black. Don't know if we can illuminate that, but I will try. Unfortunately, it's at a bit of a compromised position. I can't quite get light to it. However, that's a nice hexagon. That I also can't get a light on. No, I will. I must. Excellent. And these vanadinite crystals, and crystals in general, are so fascinating to me because they're teeny, tiny little molecules always tend to form in the exact same structure. They just fit together just in the right puzzle piece kind of way every time. And there's something incredible about that. At least, between crystals and me, one of us knows what they're doing. you see more of these square looking things, but I do believe that's just the rectangle or square face of the hexagon. The more I look at it, I believe that that is the case. That's such a nice hexagon. I cannot get over it. And we move on. Those almost appear like they're encapsulated. There's 3 at the bottom. It looks like candy or something. Forbidden gummy. Wow. The way that just appeared. And now keep in mind, we're only looking at one side of this mineral specimen. There are 3 other sides, believe it or not, and 2 edges, each with their own unique secrets waiting to be found. I need to scoot that around. Bam. Probably don't need to do that. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh, look at that. The cracked Vanadinite. That's quite a stunning. Stunning crystal formation. I am very pleased. That's beautiful. Picture. Oh, we see it again. Something hiding. I think that's a different something. We may have seen this little guy already, but just in case. The hidden one. How about that? Hiding in a hole. All by its lonesome. Ooh, looky here. Now that's a good portion of what we have in store. However, we have a few special clusters I want to take a especially good look at. For that, we need a little prop. Let's take a peek at a bit of cream. More full clusters. Brilliant orange. Oh, look at that. Oh, I mistook it for something else. You see the barite edges. And the barite I have not showcased especially well yet. So let me show you. Just that. It's these flaky, tiny, razor thin sheets. Consisting of barium sulfate. So it's got a similar amount of oxygen, but I don't see any other similarities to the vanadinite. But I suppose they form together in some manner or another. Do more research into that. Look at the stained color on the barite sheets. It almost looks like a film, like an orange film on the barite. It only spreads so far. So while I must admit to picking favorites with the Vanadinite, the barite is truly no less intriguing. That powdered white mineral on top. Is that just attributed to the barite? Is that more barite? Or is it something else? To know, but for now, look. Little Vanadinite crystals hiding out in a pocket. Cannot hide from me. This one looks like it's still trying to work on its last hexagon side there. Hasn't quite finished. Oh, that's a nice. What do we have going on there? Almost looks like we're seeing both the sheet-like vanadinite property and the hexagonal crystal structure. No, I said the sheet-like vanadinite. Sheet-like barite. Hexagonal vanadinite. It looks like we see both of their properties combined into one. And I suppose it's to be expected, as we already saw something like these moments ago, where the vanadinite takes on the complete orange color. No, I keep saying vanadinite. The barite, excuse me, the barite takes on the complete orange color of the vanadinite. And so I suppose it only stands to reason that it might lend some other properties. Let's take a look at one of the other sides. After looking at what that is, that's pretty wild. Strands of the mineral connecting two sides. That's quite strange. It almost looks like that powder is like a greenish blue, almost looking like mold. But it's definitely crystalline. Very intriguing. I didn't expect that. As I said, moving on to another side. It will certainly be something to investigate further. I would say this is the underbelly of the mineral. That being said, I know that there are still many wonders to be seen on the underside. There we are. A little cracked, but he's got the spirit. What a little champion. Fierce. We get down and doesn't appear that we can. There are some hiding yet. Presumably within the actual rock itself, there are more essentially trapped. It's such a delight to be able to share these, because it's a wonder I'm able to share them at all. Just that tiny little. Interesting. Perhaps more barren. Color. don't believe this barite came with a location of origin. Look at that. It's quite hidden. Quite content to remain hidden. But alas, not so fast. I can't tell, can you, if that the black mineral on top of the screen, is that inside the vanadinite? Or on top, do you think? I can't quite tell. I do quite like this scene here. But moving on. Trace of an actual vanadinite crystal, but all the color. Some barite flakes, even on the underside. And of course, we are on the edge here. The smaller ones that are lodged into the material appear to have a duller, more opaque kind of color. It's more yellow-orange, like a glass of orange juice rather than the brilliant orange crystal. gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Well, I think that about, well, no, for the back side, I was going to say about wraps up the back side, but I saw this little guy. So I can't leave without showing him off. He's got some rough edges, doesn't he? That's pretty great still. Anything else on the back that I want to make sure I show you guys? No, I think that about does it for the back. Now, let's try this side. There's not too much at first glance that catches my eye on this side. But let's see if further inspection reveals more. And we do still see those tiny pieces, and I think this is probably similar to when you get a rock and it's mostly comprised of, say, quartz. The tiny little particles. For example, if you'll indulge me for a moment. It reminds me of quartz when it looks like you see how there's these segmented individual pieces. I don't think segmented was correct, but there's individual pieces surrounded by essentially a rock version of glue, which perhaps is more crushed further rocks. But that is to say, I believe we're seeing something somewhat similar when we look in and see